What's up, boys? We got some brown juice again. Look at that.
Bill and her friends seem to be pretty happy about this episode. Yeah, we're kind of getting back to our beginnings. Settle down, Bill, for crying out loud. Anyway, got a friend in here. Shouldn't happen that way. Um, some good news. Bardstown's in Oregon.
Yes. Yeah.
That's great news, actually. So, Dave found these.
Yes, I did.
I'll let you
Well,
share the tale.
yeah, I was over at the Mediford, and I'm not gonna disclose the liquor store, but they have two. So this is the what is it? This is the Origin series, and we both got one. Or
Yeah, thank you,
both
sir.
got
He
a
picked one up for
both
me while he
both
was
got
there.
a different one, I guess. So what we got? The white is a 6 year, and the black is a bottle and bond.
Yeah. So we did Rochambeau. Not really. Just had a discussion. Dave decided to hang on to the bottled in bond, and I reimbursed him gladly for the Origin Series 6 year. And as you can tell, they've already been open.
Well, we had the
We had to
R
make
and D. We're doing R and D,
had to make sure they were episode worthy.
right?
Not that I've ever questioned Bardstown. If you've never had Bardstown, I think we've mentioned this before. You need to try it. I don't think they make a bad bottle. Some are better than others.
Yeah, I'll agree. I was gonna try to find a counterpoint, but yeah. So is this 6 and 7 now? Different? I mean, combined total.
Yeah,
I've had a
three.
couple. You've had more than me.
This would be, I believe, six.
All right.
Six different varieties, plus what we tasted back in Kentucky,
Right.
which I didn't have a bad bottle there either.
No. No. It's just eeny, meeny, miny, mo at
Right?
that point.
Yeah. You could pretty much throw a dart, grab a bottle, and it's going to be a winner coming from these guys. And I think previously we had stated that they were a blender only and not a true distillery, and that's changed. That is not the case
Correct.
anymore.
Correct.
Bardstown is their own distiller now. So, but I believe they were using MGP products early on until they were up and running. I could be wrong. I probably should have researched that a little bit better, but here we are. We'll follow up.
Sure.
So, what are we drinking first, sir? We're going to go by proof?
Well, so we have two different tasters. We might as well, if you want to pour yours up. I'll
Okay.
pour it. So, yeah. So I did find both these. They're both Origin series. I believe the white one Mike has is just the straight bourbon whiskey. I mean, there's nothing. I don't want to downgrade it. There's nothing special about the bottle, though. It's not marked.
Oh, sir, I disagree.
Well, it's not upcharged.
Yeah.
There's not star finished or
Yeah, one of 20
right.
or whatever, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm not discounting Bardstown at all. I'm just saying that's just plain old brown juice.
So it's 6 year old, 96 proof, 60% corn, 36% rye, bottled in, and four malted barley, 4%. So look at that, it adds up to 100%. Bottled in the fall of 2018.
So yeah, it's the battle of good versus evil, or black and white, or I don't.
And it was barreled, not bottled, in the fall of 2018. You had it wrote up there completely correct. I just stated it incorrectly.
Sorry.
Fall of 2018. This hasn't been sitting in a bottle since 2018. That's when it went in the old barrel to be aged for 6 years.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, being it's the 96 proof, and the bond is obviously 100 proof, and I'm curious if having it open for a few days now has made a difference.
Right.
Tradition. I mean, it's just nothing else, Bardstown has, it's kind of like Old Forester. It has its aroma. You can sniff,
Mm-hmm.
just do a nose on it, and you know it's Bardstown.
Yeah, I'm not at the point yet where you could put something in front of me. I'm like, ooh, well, a
I
few,
mean, yeah,
maybe a few, but Bardstown is one of them. It's a little sneaky. I mean, it's totally smooth, but there's not really a characteristic. I mean, other than smooth that
yeah,
oh, that's Bardstown. You know what I mean?
yeah. I'm trying to get that working
I don't know. Maybe we're a little rusty. We haven't done a
right. It's
bourbon
been a little
episode in a
bit.
while. I hear people that they drink brown juice.
To me,
Yeah.
it's maple syrup on a waffle on the nose.
It's just delicious.
A little bit of black pepper, but that's not very predominant.
No, I was gonna say caramel, but that's kind of overplayed, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
I guess I could have wrote down the notes, but I was gonna come up with my own. It's just
mhm.
good. See if I can pull this real quick. Uh,
It doesn't come off as a high corn flavor. High corn usually has that kind of a grainy flavor to it, and this absolutely, to me, doesn't have that.
well, this is lower than the bonded,
Oh,
so in the corn. Yeah, this is not. I know we looked it up the day we bought them, but it's delicious.
I'm really glad that they kept the malted barley at 4%. I'm not a huge fan of those characteristics. Um,
But see, the bonded is more.
Buttered popcorn taffy on the nose,
I don't know how you
right?
sommelier over here.
That's. I knew it was familiar. The wife loves taffy, and buttered popcorn taffy is one of my favorites, and that's where that's at.
Definitely smooth. There's no bump in the road or anything
Mm-hmm.
on this thing. It's just. I guess we haven't done this in a while. Let's see if I get
The old Coke can. Well, it's because we don't have any
that.
sponsors.
I know, right? But
You know,
these are both. I'll just say draggers, because there is just a tornado of swirlies. So this is the bonded, um, and this glass is not really picking it up, but it's just coating like everything in there. I
yeah.
would say the bonded coats a little bit better.
I think you're right. That's why it's so hard to see because it just glues to the side, and stays there.
This has nice runners though. So and I forget we tasted these when we opened them, and there wasn't really a winner. I mean,
I think yours,
yeah,
if I'm being honest.
bonded. All right.
But well, we'll see. Maybe error in a couple of days has changed it. Again, I'm not disappointed in mine at all. I never been disappointed in Bardstown, quite frankly. But
Right.
I think we did kind of go. Yeah, I think the bond might have it slightly beat. There's still a sweetness. There's something in the sweetness on that palate that I'm not picking up 100%. Right? It's it's familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Delicious.
Yeah, front
It's
end, back end.
yeah, it's just a great pour and 96 proof, and it's super easy to sip on. And we say that, and I think sometimes we lose track. Not that we're drink too much, but some folks that are occasional tasters, and I'll pour them a 90 proof or something, and here, try this out. And they're like, oh my God, that's so hot, and So if you're new to the bourbon world, maybe it's hot.
Well, I think at a certain point, how do I put this nicely? You know, when you get up in the, I don't know, the Old Forester single barrel, or you get into the 120, 130 proof, and
Yeah,
you're drinking fire water, and then you come back down to
96.
90 or a 100 for the bottle and bond. It's like, ooh, it's like bathwater. It's just like
Yeah, like
but
those old fashions last week that were. It
130
was
proof.
chicken cock 130.8 proof. Yeah, they had you knew there was some proof in those, but they were fantastic.
Yes.
And that's the advantage of higher proof is I don't care what you make with it, that flavor profile is going to carry through.
Yeah. Yeah, and these are, we haven't got into the bonded yet, but they're so closely similar. You definitely get the Bardstown note, but two different
Flavors?
SUV and a sports car or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's a 911 versus a Cayenne.
right.
Yeah. That nose is super identifiable to me and I can't put my finger exactly on what. Well, maybe the buttered popcorn taffy thing.
And now that you mentioned the corn, I do get more corn out of the bonded.
Hmm. Man, that's good. London's a little bit darker too.
Yeah, and we can't even blame that on the age because they're both 6 year.
Unless it's the glass,
Well, I mean, but noticing it in the bottle right there. I
right?
don't know if you guys can. That could be a label too.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but
Uh,
the bottled and bond is definitely a darker note.
and that distillery, that was one of the.
Bougie,
Yeah, I was trying to. Yeah, it's a nice. I was trying. I can't eloquent.
boutique, like
Yes, it was very upscale, very
it's
like a
beautiful.
white linen kind of.
Yeah,
Just lots of. Do I remember like plexiglass seats and white?
yeah.
Right.
Well, and all the shelves with the bottles on them had a white panel that was backlit behind it with the
Yes.
bottles in front. And
Yes.
if I can get them uploaded, I will upload a couple of pictures that I took there. And yeah, it's a classy joint.
Yeah. Very. Very. Yeah. I didn't feel that place sitting there, but
But the positive of that was that could have moved into kind of a snobby environment as far as the staff was concerned, and it wasn't at all. The people at the
no.
distillery were super friendly,
No.
readily available, answered all my questions. I asked for hint or gave them hints of what I was looking for,
Yeah.
and they directed me to a couple of really good bottles. So if you ever get a chance to go back to Louisville, uh, definitely a must stop right there on Bourbon Row or Whiskey Row.
Yeah, that was on Whiskey Road.
Yeah,
Yeah, that you could waste a couple days just going down that road.
I was gonna say a couple paychecks, but yeah.
Oh yeah, they well both time and money. No, that was
See
good.
that? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, that was a good. That little section. I was just gonna, cause who's the other one down there?
Forrester.
Old Forester's down there, and where was the two story?
Oh,
What
I
did
know
we
which
get?
one you're talking about.
It's one of my favorites.
Big name too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, sorry.
You had to bring it up.
Who was that? But they're all right next to each other. I'll think of it.
Yeah. Well, and you can check out the Louisville Bat place too, if you're so inclined.
Yeah.
Right down there also. So,
But there,
Louisville Slugger.
if you went to like a downtown,
Victor's is what you're trying to
Victor's,
think
yes.
of. Yeah.
Thank you. I almost had a stroke there. But yeah, they were all. I mean, they're next door to each other, so you can really walk into one, and if you scheduled a tasting, or there's usually if available, room at the bar. You kind of got to plan it, but they're all like right next door to each other. It's a great time.
It's what, a block and a half. It's all you
Right.
have to walk, and they're all right there.
Right. There's some scattered ones,
Yeah.
not the Angels Envies, like not with everybody else. They're maybe a couple blocks away. They're right down there,
They're
but
like halfway between our hotel and Whiskey Row.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just not. There is some right next door, and Bardstown and Mitchkers was just, I think, across the street or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have to say I think the bottled and bond, even though it's 4 points higher on the proof, is a smoother drink. I don't think it's not as much heat. And that might be, see, the 96, the straight bourbon whiskey that I had, 36% rye. Yours doesn't have the rye, and I think that's where that bite is coming from.
With the no rye,
Without the
or
rye, yeah.
you're saying
Yours doesn't have rye, and I think that's where, because mine had like a black pepper bite to it, and this doesn't to me. And I suspect that was coming from the rye.
No, it's so weird just looking at these. You can definitely tell. It's so weird when they. You could definitely tell it's Bardstown. I'm just trying to. When they give you the breakdown, like yours is 60 corn, 36 rye, and 4 malted barley. Mine is 68 corn, 20 wheat, and 12 malted barley. It's a wide range of difference, but you can still, and it's got to be the yeast. We've talked about this before, but it's still, you can tell it's the same distiller.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so weird.
Well, yeah, and again, it's awfully like an awful lot like Old Forester. I can, I'm pretty sure on a blind test you could put an Old Forester in front of me, and I could tell you it was an Old Forester out of other brands. I could be wrong. It'd be interesting to. We should do that. We should
Get like a beam or a.
get like 3 different whiskeys that we're confident we know the profile of, and do a blind tasting on them and see how many we can get right.
Now, how far removed are you going? Are you going like Jim Beam White, or can we go like Russell's? Where are you going on that? Because that's a good point.
I think it's up to somebody else to decide that, and we're the guinea pigs.
All right.
I bet we can get one of our spouses involved in that.
Right. Right. Or one of you guys.
Bill's friend over here.
Right.
Get him out of here.
Get some show input.
Yeah,
maybe.
some of you viewers, it'd be awesome to have somebody come on the show and pour and get your impressions also. We'll let you drink our whiskey.
So, do you have a winner today?
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah.
Neither one's bad. I am not disappointed. That bottled and bond all day long.
All right.
And again, I'm not disappointed in mine. I mean, what? It's $50. That's not bad.
No, I think. Yeah, I forget. What did I say?
Under 60?
Yeah, under 60 for sure. No, I just can't remember. It was like 45 and 50 or 50 and 50. Yeah, they were.
Both great pours for the price.
Yes. Well, and I think Bardstown, I think, is one of those. We like the whole lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you stuck one in there, like, oh, that's not Bardstown. No. They make a solid product.
Yeah, the bottle and bond, I like sweet. And to me, the bottle and bond is just a sweeter bourbon.
Well, there's got to be that higher hint of corn in there. I mean, 8% doesn't sound like a lot, but.
Well, in the absence of the rye.
There you go.
Yeah. And again, not complaining. Got 0 issues with that bottle. It's great. But if I had to pick a winner, yeah, it would definitely be the bottled and bond.
I'm not arguing. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, yeah. I would do the same, but I drank all mine already.
Oh, well. That's what happens. You can't have nice things.
Right.
There is a different profile. I
That's definitely spicier, in my opinion.
Really?
you know, and that's why we do it. Everybody's profile is a little bit different.
You think it's the rye in there?
I do
Spicy or just not on the higher
peppery,
proof? On the yeah, I'll give you that.
more sparkle, for lack of a better way to put it. Kind of has more pop rocks to it when you swallow it.
I'll give you that.
Where I think that'll come in handy is, and ryes in general are good for that. Is old fat. That's going to make a great old fashioned.
You haven't yet?
I haven't yet. No,
Wow.
you have?
What's wrong with you? Oh no.
Oh, there you go. I was going to say my bottle's down further than yours is.
Mm,
Close.
no. So we what? When did I get those?
Thursday, Friday, Friday. No,
Oh, it was Thursday. So Thursday night, and then came over and we both shared. I don't think have I had whiskey. Oh, 4th of July.
you had one,
I think
or
we can afford-
one or two very small pours on the 4th of July.
oh yeah. So now I didn't go back into that. Yeah,
You were
that's right.
encouraging me to blow up your mailbox.
I was not.
You were fine with the idea.
There was a Home Depot bucket that did not make it. Now I did mow
That was
after that.
50 yards
I
of
found that
shrapnel.
no, I found it in my backyard. There was a little chunk of camouflage orange bucket in my backyard when I mowed. Not saying how that happened, but it was a
Right,
chunk of
right.
plastic bucket. But it was a good time. It was a good
Damn
time.
sparklers they sell at the
Right.
stands are dangerous, man. Keep them away from your kids.
But yes, we've had. So I. That's right. I bought these like what 3rd of July, and then the 4th of July happened, and now this is after the 4th of July weekend. We'll call it. But yes, I got on my fingers, and
Right,
there was
no
no
harm done.
accidents. There was.
No, I do still have some burnt sulfur looking stuff in the front of the windshield of my truck.
Oh, yeah, because my
I bet your
driveway,
neighbors do too.
my driveway and road is tore up, full of corks and plastic bits. And
Yeah, well, your neighbors are out of control.
sure, sure, sure.
Pied pipers, sparklers. Anyway,
But yeah, both of these are a solid. Bardstown itself is one of my favorite. I think you kind of talked me into Bardstown, but definitely easy drinkers, and they're all a little bit different. You can tell it's Bardstown.
well, and they just the classy bottles, very subtle, not over the top. Not that you're buying it for the bottle, you're buying it for what's in it. But I don't know, your significant other or somebody wants to turn it into a vase or something after the fact. I mean, you could soak the label off, and pretty nice looking bottle.
Right. And that I do have to say, it's the Bardstown in general. That I think that was just the storefront. I don't know what you call it. It wasn't the distiller,
No, the distiller's actually in Bardstown.
right?
Yeah.
But the storefront or whatever you want to call it, the bar or whatever. That was one classy joint. Overall, it's a great distiller.
You'd say that's not where we did shots with the cashier, is it?
No, that would be little Evans. That's a little
Evan
party
Williams,
party
yes,
in
yeah.
the yeah business out
They
front,
got
party in the back.
There was
but,
zero pretentiousness there.
Yeah, no, this was
Quick little aside. I gotta. If we probably, I'm sure we've told the story on here before. Shopping at Evan Williams and ringing up our bottles, and cashier's like, "Oh, look at the time. We can do some shots. You guys want to do a shot with us?" Of course. So cashier, the master distiller, I think, you and me,
mm-hmm.
yeah, all did a shot after we bought our bottles there. So that was pretty cool. Um, and that's downtown too.
Correct. Yes.
So that's the other one I was trying to think of that's downtown is Evan Williams. Um, man, I tell you what, if you're in the bourbons or whatever at all, it's so worth the trip. And it's like a 2 hour, 2.5 hour ride down to Nashville.
Mm. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So we split our trip up and did a couple of days in Louisville, and then wrap things up with a couple days in Nashville and down in Lynchburg to visit the boys and girls down there at Jack Daniels. But man, it's a great trip. Beautiful country, super friendly people.
Yeah, both halves were fun. But yeah, just going to um, downtown Louisville and seeing all the distillers. That was Nashville's Nashville, but it was nice. I don't know.
Visit the motherland.
Yeah,
See where it all comes from.
yeah, and there's not a boring. I mean, there are bird scooters everywhere, and I mean, we were checking out all kinds of different hot chicken and what did we have? Indian or what was that one? It was like an ethnic.
Ethnic chicken.
No, no, it was just like what was it? Indian or something weird? Was it Cajun?
Probably Cajun. I don't. I'm not.
But see, that's not Cajun country.
No.
But yeah, just the experience in Kentucky. It was just
No, you can drive a 100-mile radius around Louisville and find all kinds of really cool, out of the way distilleries, and they've got some great stuff.
yeah, bologna sandwiches and
Yeah.
nah. All right, we can go back.
All right.
All right. Anyway,
So that's it. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of these. If I was to make a recommendation, if you're standing at a liquor store and looking at these two bottles, trying to decide which one, I would direct you towards the bottle and bond. However, if you're a rye drinker, I think that you would like the Origin Series 6 year better. I'm not a big fan of rye. There's very few that I like, but there are some. Obviously, this isn't a rye; it's a bourbon, um, but it has some rye characteristics. So I think if you are a rye drinker, you might prefer that one.
well, and it's just I mean, the proof. There's not much different. I mean, we're only talking 4%. I would give the drinkability a little bit more to yours.
Really?
Just well, the yeah, it's 4%, but
Yeah. But I all right. We're agreeing to disagree, which is awesome because I think the bottled and bond is more drinkable. It doesn't have that peppery thing.
all right.
But
Well,
not a. There's no right or wrong
fisticuffs.
answer.
Let's go. Oh. Yeah, no, there is no. Yeah, sorry.
Donnybrook.
Well, and coming from Bardstown, it's a quality product either way, no matter which way you go. And that's what I was gonna say. I think it is the first time officially in a liquor store in Oregon we found Bardstown.
Yeah,
So
I've been looking.
that's a plus. Now this is the Origin series. They have the Discovery, and they have like 3 or 4 series. So I'm glad that at least we're getting it here in Oregon now.
Yeah.
So, well, Bill cut the camera off. So
Yeah, Bill says we're done. Maybe
yeah.
too long.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please tell your friends and like, subscribe, and we'll bring you something new and refreshing next week. So have a great week, and we'll catch you later.
Yeah.